This is huge for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another stud defenseman has been made available for the trade deadline, as well as Habs GM Kent Hughes discusses the goaltending market and what their trade plans are for the deadline. And we'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, just want to say that 78% of you guys watching this aren't subscribed. So if you're big NHL fans, just like all of us here, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. We're on the road for 3,000 subscribers, and we're so close. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's get right to the first topic of the video today, which is Kent Hughes trying to move a goalie. And as we take a look, he was recently on the Got Your Back podcast, where Canadiens GM Kent Hughes said he did try to trade one of his goaltenders this season. He just hasn't been able to get the return he'd like. He said, we've been focused on looking for a trade partner to move a goalie out. The goaltending market hasn't been very active, as we know. Listen, there are different elements that go into moving a goalie. You can't just put a sign outside your house and have it done in a day. And he also said here, does it happen now and between now and the trade deadline? I can't promise that it will. Do I anticipate going into next season with 3 goalies? No. And he also, one last thing he said here, if it's there, we'll do it. If it's not, then I'm confident we'll get it done before the start of next season. And you're probably thinking to yourself, which goalie is he talking about right now? And as you take a look at the Habs goaltending depth chart here, there is one name that stands out to me, and that is Jake Allen. Because as you look through this list, these are all young goalies in Montembeault, Primo, Dobbs, and Fowler, guys who are looking to grow with this team as they go through this rebuild. And obviously, Carey Price is there, which will never probably play an NHL game again, unfortunately. I hate to say that. I really hate saying that. But as we take a look at Jake Allen, we do see Jake Allen this season through 18 starts, has a 5-10 record with an 8.95 save percentage. I believe his contract right now is around $3.85 million, and obviously, Jake Allen is a guy that has been rumored in a lot of reports here to be involved in trades, and Kent Hughes has been actively trying to trade this guy for quite some time, and he hasn't got the return he would like. What kind of a return do you think that the Montreal Canadiens will get for a guy on Jake Allen, Mark?
It's so hard to say because at this point you see so many teams just actively looking for goaltenders. So I think the biggest problem with the market right now is you have so many teams looking and no team wanting to really overpay. I mean, Markstrom name has been floating around. You got Elvis Merzlikins, then a guy like Jake Allen. So you don't want to be the team that gives up a first and a prospect for a guy, and then you see Jake Allen maybe go for a 5th-round pick. So I think the big thing is whatever team jumps first, I think it's going to be when a team makes a trade, other teams will start to panic, and it's either going to raise the market or maybe drop it a tiny bit. I could definitely see the Habs maybe getting a second, a third, maybe a prospect, not all of these combined, but just one piece of its own, especially if they do retain him, because I do believe he's on a 2-year deal. But right now, Jake Allen seems like the obvious guy to be traded. Montembeault got extended. You have Primo, who's still young. Fowler, especially, who's trying to make his way up through the system, finally make the NHL. So having the veteran, a guy like Jake Allen, obviously seems like the most likely piece to be moved. I mean, we've seen Jake Allen be pretty much the starter for a good part of his career in Montreal. We've seen in St. Louis, he kind of did it himself as well. It was him and Brian Elliott. He doesn't seem like the guy that could run maybe a 50 or 60 game workload, but he's the perfect 1B goalie for a team to go out. Maybe the New Jersey Devils want him. Maybe the Carolina Hurricanes want to go out and maybe pair him with a guy like Freddie Anderson. Who really knows? But I definitely think he'll be traded, like Kent said, either this season or just in the offseason.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. Kent also did say in this interview that he wanted to add an established player here at the deadline in a certain age group, which, by my estimation would be around the mid-20s, maybe going into the later 20s, of a guy who can kind of stick through this rebuild and kind of enter his prime with the Montreal Canadiens. I think this is what they're trying to get back in return for their trades that they are going to be making here at the deadline, is some picks for this upcoming draft, some established, players in the league who have been in the league for a couple of years now. You know what you're getting with guys, and I think that the Montreal Canadiens are moving in the right direction and trying to move out Jake Allen. Yes, like you said, it's going to be difficult. There is a lot of guys on the market. I know Marc-Andre Fleury's name has also been floating around out there as well, but like you said, Jake Allen is a perfect 1B goalie, a guy that in the playoffs, if an injury does occur and he needs to step up and be a starter in the playoffs for a contending team. We can see that definitely happening. He has proven to be a great starter in this league. And it'll be really interesting to see what Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens do here at the trade deadline. I definitely think they'll be looking to add some more picks for this upcoming draft and for future drafts, and just some assets that they can use to maybe make some trades this offseason, or maybe just some guys with term that they can use for this rebuild going into next season. But it will definitely be interesting to see what they do, and we want to hear from you guys down in the comments section. What do you think that Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens are going to do here at the trade deadline? Let me know down below. But we're going to get into our second topic here, which is Mario Ferraro, a future Leaf. And as we take a look here, this is from David Pagnotta. He says, as he mentioned on NHL Network, the San Jose Sharks are wide open for business, minus a couple of young studs. San Jose has told people they are listening on everyone, including the likes of defenseman Mario Ferraro and captain Logan Couture. And Mario Ferraro has been a guy that we've talked about here on the channel before, a guy that the Leafs have been interested in. And now that he's available, it's really going to be interesting to see if Brad Living and the Leafs go after this guy. I really do expect they put an offer in here. And as we take a look here at Mario Ferraro, he ranks top 5 in shot block leaders this year with 141. And I mean, that's just an amazing stat line for a guy like Mario Ferraro here. And as we take a look at his contract, he's in the second year of his deal at $3.25 million AAV. He's got this year plus 2 more left. So this is a guy that we could definitely see the Toronto Maple Leafs maybe take a look at here at the trade deadline. I know, they don't want to be looking at rentals. They've said that previously. I mean, this is a guy with term here. This is a great defenseman. He's known to be a great penalty killer. He's a great distributor. He's going to get on the stat sheet for you with a few assists as well. And he's such a good player at getting out of his zone via outlet passes and stuff like this. I really do think we do see the Leafs take a shot at this guy.
The big thing with Ferraro is obviously the Sharks aren't just going to give this guy away. I do think they're going to start with the trade talks and maybe ask for Fraser Minton, but Easton Cowan. But I do truly think if I had to throw the Leafs first round pick at any player at this deadline, I think Mario Ferraro is the guy. He's 25 years old. Like you said, he's locked up for 3 more years. He's still young. He's such a good shutdown defenseman. He is left-handed and does play the left side. But Jake McCabe has been playing quite outstanding on the right side. You still have Timothy Liljegren. You have so many pieces you can kind of work with. I mean, you could still go out and make a deal for Sean Walker if you wanted to. But the big thing with Ferraro, in my opinion, is this is a guy you pick up now for next year, the year after. This guy can make an immediate impact and still grow with this franchise. I mean, right now you're seeing the Leafs the classic are going into a cap crunch, which they're not totally doing. But if you do bring in a guy like Mario Ferraro, say you let a guy like TJ Brody walk, you're still saving $2 million. Yes, I know it's the right side compared to Ferraro's left, but you're bringing in a young established defenseman that still has room to grow. And I think his impact on this Leafs team would be just outstanding this season, next year, the year after, as many years as you have him.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly here. If you're going to throw your first round pick at anybody, this is the perfect guy to do it. He's 25 years old. He's entering the prime of his career. And if you can get him for the next 3 years while he's in his prime in a Leafs jersey, I think you rip this trade immediately, because I really do think that this guy is the perfect pairing for Jake McCabe. I think you stick him on the left, you keep McCabe on the right. This is a guy who's a great passer. He distributes the puck up the ice with ease. Then you have a guy like Jake McCabe who's a physical big body who's just going to shut it down his own end. And Ferraro can do that as well. He's a great defensively in his own zone. As we've seen in the top 5 for block shots, he can also lay the body here and play great on the penalty kill. And I definitely agree with you. I think the first round pick, you throw this out there, maybe you throw another guy in here to match the cap, and I think this would be a perfect trade for Toronto.
Yeah, because the big thing is you look going into the playoffs, you could run maybe Morgan Riley, TJ Brody. You run a guy like Ferraro, McCabe, Benoit, and Liljegren. And right now, in my opinion, that is a lot better than what we have. I know Riley's out at the moment. Giordano is getting old, but I do love him as a 7th defenseman. You can bring him in as a pinch as a 6th defenseman. But at this point, I don't feel too comfortable running in a very deep playoff run with a guy of his age. Can he do it? Yes. Do I want him to? Maybe not so much. But overall, picking this guy up, I would definitely toss my first round pick at him. If you want to give up a prospect maybe like Tapi Niemela, You can do this as well. I mean, every defenseman you have that's a prospect in your system, you're hoping can become a top four defenseman. So now, why not trade a guy like this to get an established guy just at the age of 25 for the Leafs?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. I think this is the perfect fit. He would be such a great fit in this system under Sheldon Keefe for this Leafs team, and I think this is the guy they need. I think of all the people we've talked about here in recent weeks about defensemen that the Leafs have, potentially being linked to, have sent offers in, I think this is the perfect guy. I think he fits the bill here. He's worth the price of admission, and I think that first round pick might get tossed in the mix for this guy, and I'd love to see it. But we're going to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. What do you think about Mario Ferraro? Do you think he is the perfect fit here in Toronto? Let us know down below. We're going to get in everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to our boy Rob. He says, my head's spinning with all these Leafs rumors. Holy cow. And we just want to say shout out to you, Rob. Obviously, you've been a long-time supporter here on the channel. We see your comments down in the comment section all the time. Just want to say shout out to you for your support. And I know there's been reports every day of a different rumor for the Leafs, and I know a lot of people down in the comment section have been frustrated saying we're reporting on this and there's nothing happening. But that's what we're here for. We're here to keep you in the loop. We want to let you know what's happening around the Leafs, what's happening around the league, and, that's what we're here for. We're here to keep you guys informed on your favorite teams here in the NHL. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like we said, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. We're so close. Really appreciate if you went down, hit that subscribe button. But if you guys enjoyed the NHL, make sure to check out this video we did yesterday. And as always, I've been your host, KC, alongside my co-host, Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.